Dire team ban. Dire's pick. Radiant's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Radiant's pick. Ten seconds to go. Dire's pick.
Another episode, but the same
Dire's
old
ban.
movie, folks. That's right, it goes to game 3, and once again, it's a first pick Wisp. Empire wrecked with it in game 1. A bit of a mess for VP.Polar, having Mag with disconnection issues, as well as a couple of sloppy plays from Illidan on the solo mid Bristleback. Then we went to game number 2. And in game 2, they got their tiny Wisp again, but VP.Polar, with Come With Me standing in, got to showcase the core idea behind the draft they tried to employ in that game 1. Almost an identical draft from them. So this time around, Empire will mix it up. They show the Wisp, but then they don't go tiny. Instead, they go back for a Doom. Let's see if this catches VP.Polar off guard. Of course, I'm LD, and I'm joined here by the ever so lovely Coddle Guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Hopefully things are going to be coming a little bit better. I tried to make some adjustments, and hopefully the microphone won't be too much of an issue. But aside from that, we've been enjoying some excellent Dota here. This is a serious best-of-3 series. Yesterday, both of my matches went all 3 games, and I'm feeling the same thing's going to be happening here. But another Bristleback game, another Wisp game. Early pick of the Doom seems to be a bit peculiar to me, but we'll see what their answer's going to be. I see the Wisp now, and already the Bristleback picked up this early. I can't help but feel like maybe a Necro is something they should consider this game. The Wisp Necro works so good against someone big and bad like Bristleback, and we'll see if it's something they fall back for here, but it's an early draft. We'll have to see how things pace out.
There's also the Razor. We saw that banned 5th, I believe, in game number 1, but there are heroes that can dominate Bristleback. It's a matter of constructing your draft to shut him down, but with the Doom pick, anything can be countered with Doom, so I guess except the Wraith King. That's the one hero that maybe you can't deal with too easily, but I do like this. The other thing is that if you manage to get an Aghanim Scepter, then you will be able to disable the Bristleback. So that's a pretty good way to deal with them if it goes late. Empire could still run something similar with the Tiny Wisp, just with the, I guess, the insurance policy of the Doom should they be unable to dominate early. But I still worry a bit about just VP.Polar zerging them, like basically what we saw last game. Just running them over with the minus armor. The Dazzle was banned this time, though, so that's the difference. And I have to say, I think that's where the Bristleback got really scary. Not just because they had the Bristle, but because they had the Bristle with the Venge and the Dazzle, both buffing him up, making him hit harder and making him more difficult to bring down. So removing the Dazzle should go a long ways towards kind of controlling him a bit.
Still a lot of sustain in the pool if they want to kind of dip into that kind of thing, but they also do the counter ban of that axe that we've been seeing in the all the games up to this point, so we're not going to be able to get the slam jam like we've been pleasured before, so we'll see. Third pick coming out here. It is going to be the Jug. So finally the Jug going to get picked up here. And I was saying it with Gods yesterday. I love this hero. He's been a Dota classic for the old days. They haven't really changed anything about him except number tweaks. They just tweak those numbers little by little, and finally it's like, you know what? This guy is really, really good. The attack timing is so fast. He gets easy CS. He hits so damn hard. The crit buff is fantastic. His ward has always been great. And now he's just become a serious core potential. And people are really favoring the right click he can bring. Give him a Mask of Madness, and he does so much auto attack damage even through his ultimate. It's really quite the potent hero now.
All of his spells are value points as well. Blade Fury, pretty good at level 1. You get 80 out of 140 possible damage per second just from the level 1, so you don't really have to level it up. The cooldown does get quite a bit better, but it's a strong level 1 spell. Healing Ward, 2%, goes up to 5%. Pretty good at level 1, and the super value point is obviously Blade Dance, which you mentioned. 20% proc at level 1 out of the 35% total possible if you max it. It's just such a versatile hero right now. You can run him in push strats. You can run him as a hard 1 position. You can run him as a support. We saw that the other day. You can run him off lane if you'd like. He can go mid in certain matchups. I saw a Juggernaut solo kill a Brewmaster in the America qualifiers. Fantastic outplay it was. Shouldn't happen, but nonetheless, that's how strong the hero is right now. So everyone knows Jug is good, and I think the only thing that surprises me is that he's not seen more of priority in CIS play. Because every other region that I've seen, China, a lot of the Western European teams, as well as America, he's a top pick in ban. But he'll squeeze his way in here, and also a good assassin against that Wisp. You just get on her real quick with the Omni Slash, and not much the Wisp or her tethered target can often do in those cases.
Yeah, I think someone had actually crunched the math numbers recently as far as optimal DPS on Jug, and it's going with like a 1-1-4-1 build with Phase Boots, Mask of Madness, and that's where he hit the highest peak of DPS there. We'll see if that's something that they're going to build in. That
was the max DPS, but you can get similar DPS if you do the 1-1-1 with stats, and you're a lot tankier then.
Exactly. So that's where it kind of works out better for full value.
Yeah, it does. At the same time, in general, when Jugs are doing well, they're normally the initiators anyway, so I guess by that thinking, you're going to win the game when you get the jump, so just roll with it and just go full glass cannon.
Well.
Hello, Mr. Tony.
Straight, the Wisp-Tony combo. Persistent as ever, or just... I mean, looking over all of their recent games, it's just so funny. Like, they didn't play much Tinies up to this point. Up to this series, they actually had not even lost a game in 6.83. They had like 4-0 Rubik games, 3-0 Tidehunter games, 3-0 AA games. Like, they were just winning, and now they finally just took their first loss. They were 19-0 up to that previous game. So now they kind of get hit there, and they're still going with the big, bad melee kind of heroes here, and it's a bit nerve-wracking. Usually when you see like a core Jug pop out, well, I don't even know yet if it's going to be or not. I mean, at this rate, it could be anything still with the puck being grabbed, but you know, you want to be able to spread that Omni Slash damage out. You get like someone with summons, a Nature's Prophet, some way to be able to be elusive, avoid. But right now, these are just big targets here, so hopefully they're going to put enough meat on the bones to soak in the damage that could be coming their way. But it's feeling more like a lineup where they're going to want to get a lot done with that first big oomph when the Ravage is down. But if they can't, got more long-winded fights that Bristleback just loves.
Yeah, exactly. This Juggernaut pick could work out really well. They have Avenge backing it up. There's Goo minus armor, which stacks up over the longer fights at least. And Jug can solo kill a surprising amount. But Dakota, you mentioned this hero in one of the previous games. I think he's criminally underutilized right now, and it could be an amazing game for him. Now, of course, Doom owns Timbersaw. He owns pretty much everyone. But there are four strength heroes and 3 melee heroes on this Empire team, so this is a good Timbersaw game, man. And the trump card perhaps coming out for Empire used to be Vangscore, their go-to silencer player. There was a period where I think I cast them 4 or 5 games in a row. They just go Silencer, Doom, Storm. Global, jump one hero with Storm, kill him. Doom another, kill him. Refresh, Doom another, kill him. Game's over. Like, that was how they ran that draft. I don't know if it'll work out quite as well, but it is an Empire classic, blast from the past almost.
If you ever go check out like if you ever need to take a moment to step away from like the casual Dota 2 subreddit, let's say, they have a fantastic True Dota subreddit where they always praise how great Silencer is as a support hero. They make a lot of valid points on why he just contributes so much. For leaders up like this kind of lineup, because Timbersaw is just such a heyday kind of hero to take it to the tiny Doom, and of course Wisp. It's just an arch rival to someone like a Wisp. So I still have to feel like overall Virtus Pro have put together just once again a great lineup with really good synergy, all that minus armor to work with. They don't have the, the benefit of being on the dire side, but overall it just looks like a pretty solid lineup. Empire though, it's big, it's bold, not very beautiful. They're looking to kind of close this one out as we start things off with Game 3 in traditional fashion with the Pawns.
No. It, of course, looks to be Mag, who, unfortunately, the internet issues persist for him. Not really a great solution if he can't get back online, as we've got a schedule to keep to. The winner of this still has to play HR, and I'm sure HR doesn't want to have to wait around for several additional hours, so I'm guessing if Mag can't reconnect, we may just have a remake, as nothing's really happened yet, and then perhaps they'd bring in a stand-in, but fingers crossed that he's able to, Dakota.
Yeah, it's such a shame because this has been a really strong group who fortunately hasn't really been able to run with the full 5-man roster. Even through their run, they had to bring in Demon for what, D2L, so it's such a shame. They're trying their best to make sure they could just have some sort of synergy with potential invites to come out in the near future. You want to be a solid 5-man squad and really get the drill in and the scrimming in, and well, we'll wait it out a bit here and see how it goes. They're 3 to 4 minutes.
Are you still confident? You were bold with your predictions. You said easy Empire win, no chance. Do you still feel that way? Are you still a believer?
I am. I would be a bit nervous with the lineup they have, but we'll hope that the Silencer wildcard is more than enough to shut down the fact. I mean, Timbersaw hates Silence. Hates Doom, too. Picking Timbersaw into a Doom is a risky play in itself, but Doom has a couple of targets here that he might need to really consider. So getting a hold of like an Ags refresher in the late game certainly would help, but early on you need to make sure you know who you're going for and you have proper team communication on what the target's going to be and what you need to do to get done.
By the way, I want to point out how adorable Tiny is when he's a little baby Rockling. Look at him, he's like half the height of the Silencer. So cute and cuddly.
I'm sure you've seen baby Tiny holding up a tree if you ever managed to get an early ag.
There's a GIF that Cyborg Matt made. Like, this was really early. I think even before TI2 or maybe shortly after that. I fell in love with. I made it I used to have my own website, lddota.com, now defunct, and one of my go-to links in my biography was that one. That's so cute.
You say GIF, you're weird.
What's wrong with GIF? Like,
I know it's like the proper way, but people have just come to terms that it's always
GIF.
GIF.
GIF. GIF.
What?
It's GIF, man.
Guys, you want to check out this? I have a funny looking GIF you can look at of this cat.
It's GIF. We're gonna put this one to the chat. If you think it's GIF, type 1. If you think it's GIF, you type 4. Or 322.
If you think it's GIF, it's this. Do you think it's GIF? Why do you gotta sell it like that? Can't you at least say it like a normal human being and not like...
No, dude, I want to win the argument. Why would I give you a fighting shot?
I would put money that people are going to hear you say it the first time, and there's going to be like at least 3 dance games about it. GIF?
I'm going to bet there's going to be more than 3 dance games about your pronunciation, so...
What? Whatever.
What?
Whatever.
Help me, please!
So it's been almost 3 or 4 minutes. We need Mag to get back in this game. Even yesterday with the pauses in the long-winded series, I'm sure you and... Ziori were waiting for me and got to wrap up,
Yes,
right?
I was foaming at the mouth with rage. Beyond the schedule, indeed. No, it was fine. Good games, I can't complain. We've had great games so far in the qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
1 or 2 stomps, but honestly, man, I know it's a stereotype, but there's a lot of truth to it. The CIS teams are just so aggressive. There's always action. It's really hard to get bored. Sometimes it's a little mindless, but...
No. It's okay. I love the bloodthirst. I love the action. I think we were privileged to see so much great axe play there. I love
It's
it.
such he's such a
And,
viscerally satisfying hero. I just like, ah, yeah, feels good whenever the dunk comes out. You get like double dunk. It's orgasmic, I must say.
Yeah, I get a casting chub off of
A
it.
little
definitely.
chubby. Okay.
Yeah. Even stuff like FNG swaps last game were just absolutely unreal.
This is a pretty. I'm not sure
I love
about
that kind of
this.
stuff.
Speaking of effigies, I'm not
Yeah,
sure about
see?
this one. This Enigma. Enigma effigy. This is a little underwhelming.
Wait, let me see. What are you talking about? We're going into FNGs here. Let me see.
The Enigma one in the dire base. For always want to fly. Could you be a little more creative than Black Hold?
Got him.
Is that real? That's. I'm slightly underwhelmed.
Yeah. No one else is really. They don't really
There's
care about
one other
FNGs.
effigy that I found. Where was it?
FNG made a FNG of Vengeful Spirit.
No
and there's
inscription.
No description. What a
Silence is
Come
gold
on,
in
man.
Dakota.
He's like, I let my actions speak for my FNG. I make swaps. I make big plays. Mag is back, so there's that.
Okay. We might have a game on our hands.
Maybe.
I'm not going to get too excited
There we
until we're a
go.
few minutes in, but Dakota, this is a deciding game 3, not an elimination match, but it's a big one because you win this, you're just one simple best of 3 against Hellraisers away from going to China. Guaranteed prize money, fully paid trip, great experience, and if you win that wild card match, you play into the main event, well, you have a shot at proving yourself heading towards the International 5. It's already announced in terms of when Valve will be sending out invites. It may be the most important tournament for all the tournaments, the most important tournament to deciding if you get to go to the big dance this summer. So a big one for both teams.
Yeah, pretty big money.
Yeah,
too.
1.5 million.
Well past now,
You know.
We've reached the.
You know what's funny is that I
rising,
saw so many
and-
people like turning up their noses at the prize pool, like, "Oh, it's not going to get as big as TI4. It's still 1.5 million dollars of prize money, and rising."
It's already more than like what TI 1, 2, 3. It's like, come on, you gotta get.
It's
something
amazing
back,
how
so.
quickly people get jaded. You know, what can you do? There's just so much prize money right now, but. All right, we'll have another pause here, so no surprises, but you guys were expecting one, so you shouldn't be upset. We're going to introduce the teams now. We'll start with Empire. You got Yoki on your offlane Tidehunter. Again, always want to fly, playing that support silencer. Aloha Dance on your Wisp. Resolution again on the Tiny. They break down the trees so they can go for the early Wisp double stacks, and it will leave Silent on the Doom with the Quelling Blade Stout. Not too much regen, just the single set of tangos here. And of course, they'll be
30
facing
seconds
VP.Polar.
to battle.
Yeah, VP.Polar is going to be on your Radiant side. They managed to pull together a win in the previous game and take it to this game number 3, so they're looking to seal the deal on this one. Lil Hardy is going to be playing what I imagine being a support Jug, as he's getting pretty aggressive here. He doesn't have a ward on hand, no business really being in the woods, but he can kind of play this aggressive with, he's holding his point, but if necessary, he can always pull out the Blade Fury. He is going to be side by side. Mag is
Battle
back on the
begins.
puck. In the first game, he had a lot of disconnect issues, but hopefully this time things will get rounded out. And Illidan, for the 3rd time straight, is going to be playing the mid lane Bristleback. On the bottom, DK Phobos is going to be playing the Timbersaw. And finally, that leaves FNG also for the 3rd game straight, playing the good old reliable Vengeful
All
Spirit.
right, with the introductions concluded, let's see how our lanes are going to shake up right now. VP.Polar, no sentries. We've actually seen a lot of teams just not buying sentries lately. It's kind of an interesting development. There was a period where every game you'd have sentries, but as of late, we've seen a lot more early boots pickups on supports. In this case, Lil actually went for the early Stout Shield over the boots, so he'll be kind of the frontline tank here, just, I suppose, doing that support Naga type thing where you just run in, take some pot shots, and look to soak up damage and zone them out a bit so your puck can get the easy farm.
So Virtus Pro changing up as far as lane orientations and going to be rolling with a 2-1-2 here. In the first game, Illidan did the solo mid lane against the Tiny Wisp, and it didn't go so well for him, going 0-3 at the start. And in the last game, he had Dazzle by his side. So going back once again as a solo, we'll see if things tend to work out for the better or not. Up and above in the top lane, looking to go for the early spin. Little Hardy going to hit a little bit of harassment damage here. As always, want to fly, looking to converge. But the Silencer Doom lane is not really something you see every day.
No,
here.
not a hugely synergistic lane, but they might actually be able to kill off Mag here. He's got a phase shift, and he'll pop it. Dodging away from that damage as well as the silence. Nicely done.
Mid lane, they do put that bit of harassment here on Illidan, so they know that him...
Yeah, there's a little freight train in the bottom lane as they roll through and get a quick kill there. FNG, the Venge, again strikes. The FNG Venge is almost to the point where I want to say teams should consider first phase banning it. Yeah, there's a lot of other really scary heroes like, you know, say Brewmaster to worry about giving away, but this guy just does so much work.
Unfortunately, I didn't see the first blood, LD. Maybe you can make a gif of it, and I'll catch it next time.
Don't be mad, dude. Chat sided with me. I don't know if even Syndra was on my side.
No, they did not. Syndra
okay, actually, he is a pretty weird guy, so maybe that's a bad thing that he's on my side.
He would say gif. He's just so proper.
GIF. I just imagine you saying
He
that.
says it like that. I would not say it like that. Mid lane, though, FNG converges. Resolution could be in trouble with a toss back. Puts Illidan near the tower. Can they go? Morn Quill, they get it. They take down Tony, but they still lose Illidan. It's a 1-for-1 trade of mid laners here in the mid lane.
Yeah. Definitely a win for VP.Polar there, killing off the Tiny. More importantly, though, our Wisp is going to be too late to get her stacks, or its stacks out, I should say. So that's a bit of a loss. They're going to use a nice little bottle trick here, just passing it over as the TP comes in. So they get a free bottle charge and then some full mana, or full charges rather, still out for Aloha Dance. But yeah, looking at how the lanes are developing, you're running a Timbersaw safe lane who got a first blood assist. Oh, mid lane, more action.
They break out, and it looks like Aloha Dance does waltz away. Illidan again, they trade mid laner for mid laner. Serious bloodbath happening here. But bottom lane, yeah, just touching base again. Timbersaw is one of those heroes you really don't want him to get a lot out of the early lane.
And he's going to get like free farm in this lane. This is a terrible lane for the Tidehunter.
Absolutely. He's just going to get bullied out and back. He's 18-6, top CS, on great track for Arcane Boots. He has an Orb of Venom pick up.
FNG going for the huge plays, but just a tiny bit short of Aloha Dance there. And Dakota, I want to point out, because this is very rare, the two highest level heroes in this game are the supports. The support Wisp, already level 5. The support Venge, about to crack it as well. Now FNG slips into third. That's just how ridiculous the kill trading mid has been.
It doesn't stop. There's a brief stun. Illidan not going to eat a lot from it, though, and they'll step back here. So they have to go back to that dual lane step to really contest. Top lane, though, they're making it go on to Mag. Scorcher's going to be popped, but he's able to easily walk away from that one. So they keep flirting here in the top lane, but not able to kind of follow through with any sort of pick. And then, of course, we already talk about bottom lane and how well. Every time I look down, it looks like Phobos is like, just get back. Don't even come to lane.
I'm the watermelon slicer. You want to be served up at the supermarket? Just keep it coming. Tidehunter does not like that.
Yeah.
He's going to sit back 2 CS. And this is just a 1v1 lane. They're not. They had Venge there earlier, but now not committing a thing. So if they manage to break even in the other 2 lanes, then they come out hugely on top through this laneage. And overall, right now, there are a lot of stacks for the Dire. Actually, only double stacks, so not amazing. They're also scouted by FNG. They may even look to contest these. Bristle can farm them, Timber can farm them, Jug can farm them. They are very good at jacking the stacks, and I think they should look to contest them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rolling with something like a Tony Wisp, and you know what's going to be happening. You know the stacks are going to be there. If you can formulate some sort of game plan, you can break an enemy territory and just either hit them while they're trying to do the stacks or take those stacks away. Mid lane again, harassment, combo onto Illidan, but FNG once again showing his face like, I'm here for him. Don't try to pull anything fancy.
It's been a quiet top lane, though. They went for the Silencer nukes a couple of times, but that Silencer Doom duo does not have a ton of synergy yet. Like, later on when you get global, you have a blink on the Doom, then you just globally jumps in and starts killing people. But at this stage, they can't really get too much done. Always want to fly. Actually, should be fine here. Mag jumps in, maybe looking for the body block into Blade Fury, but can't even get close to it.
it's going to be really hard even if Pro wanted to get anything. There's no real stun, no lockdown for them to kind of get an easy Blade Fury on, and they'll be fine. FNG kind of flirts with going up there, but look at this. Early relocate. The 6-minute level 6 Wisp comes right on through, and they just easily stop FNG. Catch him out in the river, and that Wisp with the early levels certainly pays off. He's even a higher level than Tiny. Just they get it done and go right back to mid lane.
This is a really fast level 6 on Wisp. 6.5 minutes. You see it normally at like 8-9 minutes. Bottom lane. DK Phobos gonna dive Yoki. Well played by Yoki. He knows if he just runs back, he gets timber chained, and then he's dead. So he just goes for the TP out, and he'll make it back to the lane. But it's a absolute free farm lane for Timbersaw. They are making up for it somewhat with the Doom, but the difference is this Puck and Jug are getting their levels in the off lane, and they're both quite level dependent. So I think for VP.Polar, they have to be very happy with this laning stage. Up 1k gold, experience not a huge lead, but they'll get to the point where Jug is Omni Slash, you get Coil, and they should just be looking for kills all around the map.
Unfortunately, I haven't been privileged to watch a lot of the support Jug, but he's leveling up the Blade Fury. Is that something you commonly see on more of a support Jug build, or is he kind of taking things, you know, and doing things a little bit different?
Yeah, I think it's more common on support Jug, because the thing is you're not going to get as much farm, right? So your auto attacks are much scarier if you have the items. The Mask of Madness, the Yasha, Phase, Drums, etc. Up bottom lane. They're going to dive Yoki here. They get the stun off. This time, he has a TP as well. He might be able to use it to get out relocate coming through, but it's onto a fairly tanky Timbersaw. Not tanky enough. Yoki skirts away with 49 HP. Lives to tell the tale. The rest TP now. They will end up only losing the Timber, but considering the way that lane developed, getting that kill is just so big for them.
That was good communication right there from Empire. It took a little too long for FNG to really come into range to land that stun, and it was enough time for Tidehunter to be like, guys, they're making the dive, get ready to come. And they TP in and relocate, and they just quickly, turn the tide and take down the Timbersaw. Yeah, hold on.
Clever.
Okay, there. I'm done.
Where's your soundboard?
I did it. Oh, you can't hear it? I must have had it on mute.
Oh, maybe I just can't hear it, but it's coming through. I don't know. Mid lane. Resolution in trouble now. Quill stacking up. There's your Wisp to keep him alive, but a lot of damage done. And meanwhile, FNG, he's going to find out Silent. The neutrals won't be enough, but they are bringing in a bit more. Juggernaut coming on through. Can he get in range for Blade Fury? Doesn't look like it. Can they cut off the retreat? DK Phobos moving for it. And Silent gets stunned again. Blade Fury to will be brought down by Lil as the chase goes forward. Illidan, now he's found them out in the river. Aloha Dance with no relocate for 8 seconds. This one's going to come a little closer than they would like, but they make it out intact in the end.
That's where I can't help but feel like I always love just getting that one value point into Goo. It would have slowed him down a little bit longer and maybe helped them be able to converge, but he certainly did need to make sure he had all the points he could into Quill Spray and Bristle, just for how much harassment constantly both the Tiny and Wisp will dish onto him in that mid lane. With how much regen and sustain they can get from the Wisp alone with that bottle, it's just constant pressure on him. So
yeah, he is relocate again. This time with the global backing it up. They go for the dunk on Phobos. Again, it strikes. TP also wasted, and they've used relocate 3 times already. Dakota, this is getting ridiculous. We're not even 10 minutes in, and they just keep on racking up the kills.
3 relocates, 3 kills, and all 3 kills for Tiny. Couldn't really ask for anything better for your Wisp Tiny combo, especially early into the game. So it's going beautifully for them. He's already got his drum recipe and his stash ready to go. Elden's going to be stepping back here, and they will ping it out. But yeah, still quiet as far as what we've seen from the Silencer here and Doom as well. He does have Doom up and at the ready, and he's going to throw the curse from the high ground, but just a bit of harassment. And the coil from the low ground, and Illidan with that haste, he's looking to catch on up, but the immediate TP comes out from Always Want to Fly, and he will make it out. Will Silent be as lucky though? Heal. He will get a little ward, just kind of chasing him out. Body block with the ward maybe? Relocate, or rather rotation going to be coming in, and they're not going to be able to get a hold of him. Step back, throw out the Doom, but Illidan not going to be taken down, or will he? Stun's going to be there. Yoki obviously already pulled out that Ravage bottom lane, so they don't have it, but back the other way we go. Here comes Mag and FNG as the Resolution very, very low here. Aloha Dance is going to be able to save him, and looks like they will make it out. A lot of fighting, but no one going to be dropping.
Illidan just man-moding his way through these fights. He's got a VIP booster and a Belt of Giants train. It doesn't look like a lot, but with the level 3 Bristleback and Doom just not having really any semblance of ability to get up in his face, he lives through the whole thing and still has half health. This would be a great time for VP.Polar to get kills. Pretty much all the big spells now down. The Doom's down. Relocate just came back up, but was down for that fight. Global just now cooling down. 20 seconds to go on that. And Ravage still 40. A little bit less now. They really want to be fighty when these ults are down, but unfortunately, the Wisp movement's just a bit too crisp. They're able to keep the Tiny alive barely. They'll now pick up the Doom Midas, and I think with the number of deaths the Timbersaw has accrued, that VP.Polar can't feel super confident about the late game.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to really go on a tear that you like to see out of your Timbersaw, even though he had a fantastic laning phase. These relocates and counter rotations onto him has proven to be a bit too difficult, but he's still persistent. He's got his point booster here, those early makings towards that, you know, tactical bloodstone that you like to see your Timbersaws get. Not really going off the rails. I don't think he's really departed from this bottom lane as of yet, but here's his team looking to converge. Yogi could be in trouble if he hangs around a little too long. But Silence is here as well, but the numbers still favor Virtus.pro. They see Silent and they're like, hey, welcome to the lane, buddy. And they just manhandle. He drops.
Dominating.
Now Yoki. Silence, they're able to get the relocate in. Ravage as well to follow. FNG could be dropping here and will. Making it 2-for-1 trade, but they want more. Phobos looking to get a hunt of Yoki. Meanwhile, the toss is going to connect, and another fantastic grab there for resolution. Now, Phobos healing up, going to be fine. Illidan comes through with that DD, able to quill down the Tide Hunter, and the sidestep, but the TP now coming out. Will he make it away? He will! Timbersaw makes it out the last second. That Timber Chain not going to be able to connect.
Man, those Spider-Man plays, he just zipped right through the burning door and makes it out unscathed on the other side. So, a 3-for-2, but they blew everything in that fight. Well, aside from Doom, who didn't get to use it. But they blow the Global, the Relocate, the Ravage. Still, they have to do something during these windows where those spells are down. Otherwise, Empire can just keep on doing that. Let's see if they can make a play now. They get their treads out on Illidan. He's got Vanguard. Great time to push this tier 1, and I don't really see Empire defending it. Unless they bring 3 or 4 bottom.
Yeah, it's the one thing is you got these big ultimates here. 3 heroes that have just huge ultimates to build around. When those ultimates go down, and that's the time for Virtus.pro to try to get a lot done. So, not the biggest window of time, but we'll try to take advantage of it as best as possible. Bottom, they're going to be pulling out the glyph to kind of keep them back here. They'll keep staying strong mid lane. Tony do make
Silent, top, caught out, and Meg's going to bench to bring him down. The Blink Dagger now revealed. Another pickoff. And do want to mention Tiny Wisp, they finally cleared out their stacks. I think they were only doubles, maybe triples by the time they finished them, but still keeps his farm up slightly ahead of the Bristle, and now going to go for a mid lane. Gets the Ava off the toss, or the toss rather, the Avalanche cooling down, and chases forward. Pops his drum charge, continues pursuit. The Avalanche finally available. They get the kill. A big one for sure as they look for FNG. Toss online. There's your toss. The slow coming through now. FNG surrounded and beaten.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Interesting call to make a go at that top room, but it doesn't stop yet. Lil Hardy coming in, spinning and winning. Can he finish off Aloha Dance? Oh, the stun, the toss! They take down the Jug, a triple kill for Tony. Now they do manage to grab the Jug there. Mag, though, is going to jump the other way. They pop the drums and always want to fly. Looking to catch on up. Going to put down the ward for the extra vision to get the toss off, but the nice shift right there. Going to avoid the extra bit of damage, but the miss of the stun. Mag juking and chiving to get away. Muhammad Ali goes right into the woods and will be safe. What a dance move coming out. Always want to fly now, just a little too deep, and FNG, nope, swaps her, not going to be getting away, and he just kind of want to do what he can before the inevitable. And it's going to be taken down. Phobos picks up that kill.
We're not done yet, Dakota. Top lane, Silent being dove, has no TP, and with 4 goose decks on him, Silent is forced to toss out the Doom. Just a casual zoning movement by him. The hate is on, and now bottom lane, Yoki, he looks to turn it onto Lil, who deployed an Omni Slash. He didn't have the burst to bring him down, but they set up shop now for the relocate return. Can they fight this? Global is ready, Ravage is ready, but Tide's too low to come in. They're just going to send back the Wisp. And away he goes, back to the well. Endless aggression all day and all night.
Seriously,
bottom tower
this
is
just
under
an absolute
siege.
blitzkrieg coming out from both teams. 10-12 now, 15 minutes
Radiant's bottom tower
in.
is
Holy
being attacked.
Toledo here. Top lane
So
now
that's
is
something
Virtus
that's
Pro.
happening.
Continue to build up a little bit of pressure. And this all started, mind you, with
Radiant's
Illidan
middle
thinking
tower
that
is
he
under
was strutting up
siege.
towards that top rune. It was a bounty,
Dire's
even
top
before this
tower
bounty had
is
spawned
being
up. He saw the Wisp was there, was going to grab it, and maybe thinking that FNG would be able to come and help him out, but
Radiant's middle
I think they
tower
grossly
is under
underestimated the
attack.
burst potential. Meanwhile, top lane, they're making a dive on always want to fly. The coil's going to prevent that TP, and they get a sweet, easy pick right there on the support.
Yeah, that is not where the silencer really wants to be. Uh-oh, mid lane? Oh no, Omnislash will be fine.
Being attacked.
That's the one thing I worry about for Empires. They do not have the best tower defense. Their defense is jumping you with huge ultimates, but if you're not willing to blow global or it's on cooldown and you don't have Ravage, how do you really go in when VP.Polar set up under the tower? You can't, so that's where they want to be split pushing. They try for it a bit now. Yogi off in the bottom lane. They are going to rotate their tiny Wisp towards top, but I don't think they really want to fight. They just want to start farming these creeps.
Oh, they're baiting him out, though. They got both FNG and Mag waiting behind in case they want to make a go, and they don't have coil, but they're also not going to have an opportunity to make a go.
You do not want to go on that. That would be super risky.
So with a lot of people missing on the map,
Dire's middle tower
right
is
call
under
to make here.
siege.
Now with relocate up and
Radiant's
at the
bottom
ready here,
tower is under
Virtus Pro need
siege.
to make sure that no one is out too far on their own past their leash, and they kind of employ that buddy-buddy system. Otherwise, we've seen what Empire can do.
Blink now out on Doom as well. Doom may be their most important hero, even above the Tiny Wisp. That and the Silencer, because if you get off a good global, you get the Blink Doom on a key hero. Pretty much anyone, once you have Ags, would be a key hero, including the Bristleback. Well, can make the difference. Bottom lane, Lil will get jumped, but Doom has no follow-up. The Silent will be turned on. They even global to try and cover the path of retreat, but with auto attacks from the Venge, they may just run him down. Blinky forward as Mag gets that first kill, relocate, bails him out. But what do you do now? I guess they'll go back to farming. The problem is VP.Polar look to push in.
Yeah, that did not go the way they were planning. They made the jump onto Jug, but they had to go a little too deep, and there was just not enough DPS there to get him down quick enough. And with that tier 1 still standing, it just allowed for easy rotation. But because they rotated to the bottom, this allows them to get this easy tier 1 at the top lane. So it will be an exchange of Doom's death for a nice little objective, but they also get their own on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, you're seeing a dance right here between Yoki and Mag. Here comes Illidan. The Ravage is going to pop out and catch both of them. Always want to fly coming in for a little bit of extra help. Also another rotation. They end up taking down Mag. Illidan now caught between 3 here, and now 4 as Doom looks to make the rotation back from his earlier demise, and Illidan, though, big and beefy. He's going to be able to walk away, and it's Empire Resolution. He's able to grab a sweet kill on his Tiny, taking down FNG. Lil Hardy is going to be able to spin and TP out.
Crazy game. Illidan's diving the tower from one direction. The Venge somehow for FNG finds himself over here in the middle of nowhere. Now they're just going to start pushing mid. Even though they don't have Ravage or Global or Doom, well, we've got 2 kills. Your tier 1 mid belongs to us. Or does it? Illidan wants to change that. He runs directly down the middle lane, surging in towards Empire, but has to wait for his team to fully commit, and they show up a bit too late.
Empire can't really do a fight here. They've already just blown a couple of things. They don't have Tide nearby. He doesn't even have Ravage to begin with. And they just got to make sure they can wait it out and take the right fights. Virtus Pro know they don't have those ultimates, so they'll just push on in. They'd already taken that bottom tier 1. Now they're going to grab this mid one as well.
Has fortified its structures.
Yeah, they got it last second. Always on it to make sure you either glyph it or get the ticket, you know?
No tickets, please. Well, unless they're Dota TV tickets anyway. This is the way VP.Polar need to keep on playing. Up tempo, a lot of intensity. Try to bait out those ults constantly and fight like madmen while they're down. They go into the pit now. Ravage is 50 seconds off. I wonder if Empire try to contest this anyway. They have everything else. It's tough without Ravage.
I don't think they can here. The minus armor is going to certainly help out. They already have Roche down to half-life, and it looks like Empire is nowhere near and don't really have the slightest idea by the body language. But they're able to grab that tier 1 in the mid lane at least in exchange. It looks like Always Want to Fly is de-warding near the pit, but the wave is going to come out, so as it drops right there, I think they got the idea. Meanwhile, behind enemy territory, Yoki might need to be careful here. Oh, Blink to get away from this one, but still not quite in the clear.
That's a good maneuver, though. They push in top and mid, get a lot of farm on their Tide and Tiny. They didn't have Ravage, so taking the Roach would be dangerous. And now they just back off. The creep equilibrium's in their favor. They can go farm their own woods, and if you have Ravage there, maybe you try to take the fight. But without it, it's just too much of a risk.
Okay, they have a really nice aggressive ward here in the First Pro jungle. Maybe looking to use it for a relocate pickoff here. Mag's Puck's been proven not the easiest target to take down, so maybe no FNG is looking to kind of de-ward it here. Do they make the quick jump to get him, though? That would be a bit selfish, but they know that they have the proper vision. They de-ward it, so that aggressive vision not going to be there anymore for Empire. So, good heads up.
Silent looking for the jump in on Lil. He'll get off the Doom. And then they relocate as well. Big commitment. Now even globaling through this. They'll get the kill. Puck going to quickly Yules off that global silence, and now blinking forward is Mag. Coil not up for 10 seconds, though. Turning. Oh, there's your relocate back. Silent, though, still being chased. I don't know about this Mag. He's got to be careful.
Jump forward, step back, Coil catches, but he's a huge stun and a slam to the backhand side from that huge tree, and he goes down. Now Phobos under pressure here. They're even on him, and he just self-destructs. Know that he's not going to be able to get away and just kind of takes.
Yeah, that was definitely the ejector seat blowing its way out of the cockpit. Back to the grave, only for a few moments. This could be a big item, though, for Illidan. Gets the BKB. Last game we saw when he has BKB, he just wrecks.
Radiant's middle tower is under
There's a
siege.
Doom this time around. No Ags yet, but it's coming fairly soon. So I'm not sure if the BKB Bristle will be quite as
Radiant's
devastating
middle
this time.
tower
But
is being
it still
attacked.
helps deal with a lot of the stuns from Empire coming his way.
Gold for me.
You've got Ravage to worry about, the Silencer nukes, Tiny's combo. Without that, they will struggle to kill him until they get the Ags Doom.
So things are feeling pretty good here for Empire as of right now here. You got your Resolution building a nice farm. He's pretty damn close. In fact, he's about to have his AC. Huge grab for this Tiny. We saw in the first game, once he got a hold of that, it was serious pressure onto the base. They had gotten that nice side takedown of those racks, and well, it's something that VP.Polar need to make sure they always have their mind on. And we'll see here as they converge towards the bottom. A haste rune is up and at the ready here. Empire nearby, those ultimates slowly coming off cooldown, so look for them to go on the aggressive. It seems like every time they have them at the ready, that's when they know they want to take a
If
fight.
they want to take a fight, they just need to wait for global. 15 seconds and counting. Beyond that, maybe the AC. They wait for the AC, they get global back up, and I think then you look to go. By that time, the Aegis will be nearly expired, though. So they push in bottom now. There will be a quick jump in onto Resolution. And he's going to just turn around and club that puck into submission. Quick kill for him, as they will relocate back out. At the same time, global deployed. Ravage online. They're going to be... Do they come back with the Tiny? That's the big question. Now they do. Now the Ravage flies forward. It hits all three. Club down one. Make it two. It's a rout as VP.Polar getting charged back, beaten down. That's 4 dead. Your lone survivor for now, the Bristle God. Can he do it by himself? I don't know, Dakota. He's a bit low for this. He chases onwards, but Illidan, BKB about to wear off. Toss in. Gush. And one more nuke will do him in. This is going to be 5 heroes down. Unless, all right, now it's fine.
There it is.
Yeah, the Aegis still a long way off from
He's coming
expired.
back. Mag. Oh. Comes in, he's half damage immediately just because of the toss. Illidan back with full life here. Will be able to burst down this Wisp at least, but Resolution, is he going to have enough muscle power? I don't know. Illidan's going to happily go toe-to-toe here. He leaves off with the goop with the stun, catches him off. Now he's going to be forced to step back and slowly plague him down. This is what I'm talking about. What are you going to do if you're Resolution? You wait, you step back, get the toss off, but you still got 5 more seconds before the stun. And here comes Phobos. They take down the Rock Man, and though Empire lead off with a very strong start, they also take the tower, so it does work their way. But it is Virtus Pro who get a lot out of that. That was a big bounty.
Godlike streak ended, and that puts the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was plus 1,000 gold from that kill. That's almost his full BKB complete now. Big takedown there.
Big grab. Yeah.
So overall,
Really, really nice.
I think it's still a fairly even game. Empire, you probably give them a slight edge with the mass global team fight lineups, or mass pickoff / global style lineup. But not out of reach by any means for VP.Polar, and they'll have good timing coming up soon with that with the Timbersaw BKB, because Empire still lack huge physical damage, aside from Tiny. But we've seen the Tiny kited and controlled quite well, and you imagine the Chakram coming out onto him, the goo stacking up. They can relocate him out. He's probably not going to die, but he won't be hitting, and we saw a little taste of that towards the tail end of that fight bottom, where Bristleback just started to take over with the goo.
So right now, feeling a bit more of that rinse and repeat. Empire, they kind of, blew their whole load there in the bottom lane, and now they're going to have to wait a bit before everything is back online once more. So with this opportunity, Silent has been putting himself a little bit of that me time in the top lane. He's about to complete his Agnems. Actually, he just completed his Agnems. It's going to be en route momentarily. So now that Doom, once he's in there, if he gets that Doom off onto someone like Illidan, he is not going to be able to do anything. Just a walking around creep, swinging around his little stone flail, but it's not going to be good enough. So we'll see if that is going to be the Doom target. Is that who you imagine he's going to be going for? Or do you value something like the Timbersaw to make sure he?
That's a really tough call. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think the Bristleback is a little bit scarier. The one thing is, if you're worried about the Timber, you could always go back for a BKB on your cores, as they will jump in mid lane, and the Timbersaw down for the count. They used the Doom for this, and with that, perhaps... Oh, he can't buy back, actually. So they'll get a secondary kill, looking to make it a third mag up to the high ground, barely escaping from this. Wow, he was dead almost instantly as soon as that Doom got cast.
Yeah, that was a nice little debut of that Agnes Doom. They smoked up in the mid lane. They saw Phobos just kind of show himself in the mid, and they were like, easy jump. So they move on forward. They get the Doom off. Relocate helps Resolution get involved, and FNG with a desperation swap only ends up throwing his own life away. Now Ild in the mid lane. The stun's not going to catch, but they get the toss anyways. He does have DD, so he'll run, showing that strong backhand side, but we'll see if he is able to walk away from this one. Yoki blinks forward. He's
got Force Staff as well.
Not close enough to catching one out. Doesn't want to commit all the way. Maybe would feel he'd be too far ahead of his squad.
They're chasing Yoki, but he'll Force Staff back out. He's got a blink if he needs it. He should be using it soon. Always want to fly his no TP though, so he's probably left to dead at this point. That's the death of your Silence.
Tide has Force in 5.
Dominating.
They can't do anything about it.
No relocate for 2 seconds. Also, if they go for the relocate there, then the Wisp dies instead, most likely. So, I think for Empire, you just chill. You don't need to be forcing diving too much. Wait for your Ravage. Well, sorry, not your Ravage. Your Doom to cool down, and just keep on finding pickoffs with the Aghanim's Doom. It's so good against Timbersaw, Bristleback especially. Suddenly, he's a lot more easy to right-click down for the Tiny, and not nearly as fearsome in the fights. They shouldn't feel too much of a sense of urgency this game.
Yeah, this game is definitely working for them in the early run right now, but Silencer goes down. We'll wait for him to come back and have that global up and at the ready. Ravage is obviously still available here, but they go. Checking out enemy territory. They have their crosshairs on DK Phobos. He's knowing that a lot of Empire...
He's in danger. The Doom's about to jump in. And blinks past him.
Hi.
Don't know if he got vision as it is nighttime. Doesn't look like it.
Phobos has no TP. So he's going to have to wait here in the corner.
Just dodging away from the watchful gaze of that Doom. And the same time, the team smokes. Their Roche is low. Empire been working on it. They have a global online. They may just need to throw this out very soon to secure that Aegis. A little up to the high ground. They're not going to go in. And that'll be a freebie. Looks like they get out too.
Yeah, good grab. First Pro didn't really know what was going on at that moment, maybe hoping to make a converge on their own as they saw Phobos could have been in trouble, maybe looking to sweep in and help out and find a fight themselves. But Empire do a good call. They just hop into the Roche and get it done quick. And now they have the upper hand here. They smoke up. They want to fight. They still have everything at the ready here, and here they go. Moving forward, relocate also to come in here. It is going to be a move forward. Global does come out, and so does the BKB from Illidan. Now, as they step back, Mag skirmishing here with Always Want to Fly on the right-hand side, and on the left, they're still on pursuit. Yogi getting chased out. Mag could be in trouble and will end up going down back on the other way. Illidan does finally drop, and now Lil Hardy. Big right clicks coming out from Resolution, and the Ravage catches on the two of them. They take down Jug, they take down FNG. 4 for none. Can they get a hold of Phobos here? Well, he'll be able to whoop, see you later to the low ground. So it is going to be only a 4-man takedown.
Look at Aloha dance. He's just going in deep.
Come out big.
The little backup comes from the Tidehunter, but this is a very aggressive Wisp maneuver. He'll continue chaining his way back, and Yoki still chases this. What a funny, chaotic fight. Bristleback BKBs, he just starts booking it the hell away to the left. The Tide's like, oh great, I'm going to follow this Timbersaw. I ain't afraid of being sliced up, and eventually ends up holding the Ravage for ages, getting off a great one. Well, at the same time, there was all that action on the right side of the fight as they just end up destroying the puck off the bat. Empire, it seems like when they pop their big ult combo, there's just nothing VP.Polar can do.
It takes 5 swings to take down the Rax. Oh my goodness here. So immediate siege damage happening, and it looks like Virtus.Pro are going to be a wounded animal at this point if they can't quite get a lot out. Yep, it looks like. Oh, nice tether. Aloha Dance is going to step away from the Timber here, and Empire are going to be able to disperse, not have any casualties, at least it seems.
Radiant's middle
They'll walk away with not
attack.
just a huge team fight, but taking down a tier 3 and the main melee Rax.
And the thing is, again, VP.Polar desperately need to be punishing the ults being used, but Doom's already back online, Ravage will be up in 50, Global up in 18. When the game gets later like this, you take longer to respawn, and so unless you're able to blow buybacks or you have multiple heroes with Bloodstones or someone like Meepo who has a naturally faster respawn timer, you end up, okay, let's go fight now, and their ults are almost back up when they win convincingly like that. This is, I don't know, it's getting difficult at this point. And the thing is, they don't have like a great catch lineup. You know, they don't have a Blink Hex Nature's Prophet. Their best ganker is a Puck. And with Global to counter-initiate against that, with a BKB on Doom, you can't really go on him. Tide is Kraken. You always have to worry about the Tiny Wisp relocate, so you're kind of cornered in terms of options as VP.Polar. It just is so difficult to out-execute at this stage. Whereas Empire, very easy, just pop Global, blink Doom, and go for it.
Stun onto Illidan, but they put their sights on the little Hardy, the easier target to take down, but he spins out. Now they step back for Illidan, and he gets doomed up. Oh, wow, big level death just brings him down immediately. You would not know that was the tank of the team, and they just easily, objectively walk through that tier 3. Now inside the base, they get the stun off, little Hardy. Boom, see you later, boy. Tony in town. Gonna just go on your tier 3, and this is looking like Empire's game at this point. It's them to move on to the next round. VP.Polar, if they drop, they will not be eliminated. They go to the lower bracket, but big coil onto 3. Immediate Global on the return. DK Phobos pops his BKB and is hoping to get a lot of work in here on his Timbersaw. Can he burst down at least Aloha Dance and get him down? He can, but still, up and at the road. Resolution now comes forward, swinging that big mighty club, and Illidan, very, very low, always want to fly, trying to rush him down. Even Yoki here pulls out the Ravage. He's in the fountain, however.
Oh no! Oh no, is this the turn? VP.Polar coming out of it with 3 freebies that never should have happened. But it is still 2 lanes of Rex down. I think they'll salvage this one. Getting a little sloppy and cocky here as the hour grows later in CIS, but Dakota, I just go back to the early game. The Wisp getting a quick level 6, then they get 3 instant relocate ganks. I forgot if it was 2 or 3 of them. I think 2 on the Timber, 1 up top. The 2 kills on the Timber, to me, really turned this game. Because prior to that, Timber is 1v1 against Tide. He's wrecking his lane. He's CSing freely. He's on track to have like a 12, 13 minute Bloodstone and just run over a 4 strength hero, effectively 4 melee hero lineup, just because Wisp is always going to be right next to her tether partner. That all changed with those relocate ganks, and from there, not that VP.Polar didn't have a chance, but they could have had a much easier time of it if they had successfully anticipated and dodged those early ganks.
And top lane seemed to be a bit of a wash for both sides, but you're allowing Empire and the Doom and the Silencer to get that XP and level up. Once they get those ultimates together, then they just kind of move as a unit. And any opportunity to kind of use that global presence in that Doom, they kind of found kills and got the upper hand. A Roche later, they're able to burst into the base, and well, you know what Tiny can do once he gets in there with his Wisp colleague and an Aghanim Scepter. And now already down 2 sets of racks. It's Empire here. It's their game to lose, but that would be a big throw. Already 20k in net worth, well and above. This next tier 2 bottom lane drops, and they begin to waltz on forward for the final hurrah.
This could be the end for VP.Polar. Not in the tournament, but for their winner bracket chances. A win here, Empire would move on to play Hellraisers. They're poised to do it. Surging on, they'll smoke on the side of VP.Polar. It's immediately broken. DK Phobos leaping in with his BKB, and now the Global comes out, and the Doom onto Illidan, taking the 2 carries out of the fight. They'll dunk the low-hanging fruit. That's FNG. Club down. It's Megas. It's gotta be GG. Any moment now. Empire just pounding Phobos into the well. And from the backside, Mag helplessly watches as his base burns all around him. And they've got a date with Hellraisers, Dakota.
Certainly do. Looking forward to that matchup here, but as Empire just kind of put on a spanking here, cleaning out the rest of the base. I gotta say, felt pretty good about Empire coming to this game, and they don't let us down. They have been on quite the tear, and they're showing that this new era of Empire is something to look out for.
Wrecking Crew here. They'll go into the fountain. This time the Ravage is back up. Another kill. A 5-man wipe. Put a little icing on that cake, and Empire, they move on to face Hellraisers. That's our best of 3 coming up next. I gotta say, I think Hellraisers look really good. I would favor Empire, but not overwhelmingly, Dakota. I think it'll go 3 games, and I would say only like 60-40 in Empire's favor for me. Maybe I'm just an old Compass Gaming fanboy.
Maybe, but then that works out for the best. I want to see some good Dota. If it's a full best of 3, then so be it. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, with that said, guys, we are going to take a break here. Not sure how long of a one it will be. Hopefully relatively short. When we return, we come back with what will be your second and final match for Europe of today. It's VP.Polar. Or no, actually, I don't think it's final. We've got 2 more coming up later. But your next match, the final match for me in Dakota. Best of 3, Empire taking on Hellraisers. Winner, guaranteed a trip to China. With that said, you can follow him, and you should, on Twitter, @CondleGuy, if you'd like myself as well, @LDDota. And stick around. We'll be back soon. The Dota 2 Asia Championships, the European qualifiers. Action continues after this.